welcome to the Green Hour, WURD at 96.1 FM and also 900 AM on the weekend, sponsored by Celia. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins. We're here every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. You can also find us online at www.wurdradio.com and in the community. My co-host and health advocate is Bill Morgan, 1L Morgan. You there, Bill?
Yep, everybody, right here, man. Doing what I got to do.
Yes, and each week we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. On the Green Hour, we will focus on how the is a key part of our social integrity. And on the Green Hour, we'll focus on how the people and the planet are one. Without further ado, welcome, family. All right, Mike Moore in the house. Mike Moore in the house.
What's up, Big Mike?
All right. And Big B, how you doing there, man?
Yo, man, doing wonderful. Wife had me outside slaving in the cold, brother, putting up them Christmas programs, all that stuff, you know.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Man.
Well, you know, we're going to go straight in because you know how time always flies right by us. And I hope that we can get right into the business of what's happening. You know, our numbers are going up, Bill. You're really going up. You know, here in Pennsylvania, 12,000 just over, you know, that 1 day's accumulation.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Tell us about that, Bill.
Look, man, 12,884 new, Dr. Paul, COVID-19 cases, making highest one-day total in Pennsylvania. Get this, guys, coming out of Harrisburg. The Pennsylvania Department of Health on Saturday reported 12,000 additional positive COVID-19 cases, bringing the statewide total to 411,484. Now, folks, listen, family, listen. This marks the highest daily increase of COVID-19 cases to date. Now, there are currently 5,230 individuals hospitalized with COVID-19 in the state of Pennsylvania. But of course, of that number, 1,065 patients are in the intensive care unit, okay? Now, that trend, the trend in the 14-day moving average of numbers of hospitalized patients per day has increased by nearly 3,800 since the end of September, folks. And check that out. Hey, look, we got to make sure we continue to look out. Listen, the number of tests administered within the last 7 days between November 27 and December 3 is 405,631 with 59,817 positive cases. Now, there were 70,469 test results reported to the department through 10 p.m. December 4. So that means statewide percent positive for the week of November 27 to December 3 stood at 14.4%. Now, that's deep. That's just Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and, you know, that's just Pennsylvania. And then, you know, those numbers are just here in Pennsylvania. But giving them also the, you know, the website that we have as a great resource is ncove2019.live.
That's right. That's right.
Give them the numbers because that's actually, as of right now, every moment they're refreshing. This thing refreshes like every minute of the day. So what are our quick fact numbers on worldwide?
I just refreshed it, Dr. Paul, and we're looking at right now total confirmed cases of 67,227,698, okay? And the total critical, as of just a few moments ago, 105,965. Now, total deceased, folk, here we go now, 1,539,831. Total active, 18,841,152. Here's the only good news we got going for us, family. Total recovered. Big Mike. Give me the, yes, sir. My boy. Bam, 45,998,025. So that's giving us a little bit of a good thing. Yes, that means all the bad news. That's the one good thing we got going for us, Dr. Ray.
Right. And if you are listening, family, you know, with all of the despair and things that are going on, and yes, the total active numbers, which is the those that have been diagnosed or have been tested, and they said that they have been positive for it. That was 18,841,152 of the total recovered, and that's the total recovered. We're 45,998,025. That's an incredible number. So here we are, family. Be encouraged. And yes, you know, this thing, you can get your body in a state of balance. We always talk here on the Green Hour to talk about the immune system and building immune system. So today, I want to go into some other things that you need to get more of, because I know when they're telling us to, you know, of course, mask up, right, Bill?
That's right. Always mask up.
We're keeping our hands clean, practice social spacing, but at the same time, I want you to add something to the equation, family. Family, if you're listening, get a pen and pad. I want you to start doing two major things that are going to help you and your family to be better prepared in building the immune system. You know what that is, Bill?
Listen up, family. Listen up,
This
family.
is one big one. This is the big one. This is a big one. Hold on.
Yes.
Get more sun.
Uh-oh, look out. What are you talking about, Dr. Hall?
Did you hear that?
I heard you.
Sun. You got to get more sun.
All right.
The activator of everything of the immune system happens when you're in the sun. You know, Bill, I always talk about this time every year. You know this. It's going on several years. I talk about how, you know, the sun, right now, we're in the fall. The sun is falling. As it's falling, less sunlight causes deficiencies in those big ones. Of course, you've heard the one most publicized, which would be vitamin D. But what's happening is that's also the synthesizer that helps the melanin production for you to generate, which actually comes to help the immune system. Exactly. So melanin builders, you know, and we always talk about melanin production. And melanin, remember, melanin is a polymer. It's not just because you're dark skinned. You can be light skinned with having, because polymer means that it's a chemical in the system. It's a polymer. It comes in more dynamics. When you look up in the sky at night and you see the blackness that's between the stars, that's melanin gas. They found melanin crystals. There's melanin crystals. There's a lot of different variations of it. It's in every cell. Matter of fact, every melanite cell can control 30 to 40 other cells.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. Glad to hear that.
That's some good stuff, man.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Dr. Paul, because you know what? So many of us always like to think that, well, just because I'm black, I got it going on like that. But guess what? See, you hit a very important point that all of us as a family, you see, as a family, there are benefits to all of us.
That's right.
So we can be the health is that the creator manufactured us to be. How about that? Manufactured us.
Absolutely.
Like
so
that.
we have to get the sun, because the sun is the #1 activator that makes sure that you start to do it. I can tell you this, Bill, right now. Close your eyes, Bill. Close your eyes right now.
I got them shut. Talk to me.
You got them cut. Everybody on radio, listen. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes that's listening. Think of the #1 time in your life when you had the most fun in your life, or the time when you felt the healthiest. You got it? You there yet? You there?
I'm there.
Were you in the sun?
Yeah, buddy.
There you go. Family.
Playing like a big dog.
Some people think about the beach. Some people think about being out in the sun. Somewhere you were in the sun. It makes you you feel like that, you get that whole feeling, because it's starting to resonate with the system. So I want to go into getting those things. You know, I always stress on it, Bill, you know, how I hammer the home point, and you got to watch the toxicities, because all these toxicities are backing down your ability for your body to do the things. Stay away from those top 10 toxic foods that I have on my website. If you go to the website, download it. It's www.drpaul.herbs.com. Make sure you go to download. Stay away from the toxic foods. That's what's backing your immune system down. Now your system has to work harder. So I want to go to some herbs today that help to regulate and increase that level of melanin production. So no matter what you have, you got to build up that protector. You know, I want to also say to the family that this is the testimony. This is Testimony Sunday also. So if you still want to call in, you can call in, family. And Bill, you want to give them the number for that if they want to call in?
Yes,
I'm going to go into it. But I want to let the family know you can still call in if you have a situation you want to talk or testimony or something that you want to bring to the family that you've used here on the Green Hour. So Bill, give them the call-in numbers. Just so
you got that right, Dr. Paul. Okay, guys, listen, you do know that we are a family here. That's all of us. And you can reach out to us right here if you're in our local calling area at 215-634-8065. Again, that local calling number is 215-634-8065. Now, if you're out of the local calling area, you can get us at 1-866-361-0900. Once again, 1-866-361-0900. That's WURD Radio, Black Talk Media, 900 AM, 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Yes. That's what's up.
All right. So now we're starting to go into this thing. You know, people are talking about a lot of stuff, talking about the vaccines and, you know, understand, family, the vaccine is not the cure-all for everything. It's just trying to, you know, and we have to understand that this the philosophical understanding that we disagree with, and that's the concept that you're putting something in the body to actually make the body sick before you make yourself well. That's the allopathic concept. We, as the naturopath says, you feed the body and the body corrects itself. We go with the body. You don't go against the body. That's where naturopathy comes from. Nature's path, nature's way. We don't do anything, nor do we claim to do anything. The body is already programmed to do is try it build this quadrillions of things that it's doing every fraction of a second of the day right now, as far as generating and rebuilding and developing cells and fighting disease and all of these things. So it's doing its work. We just have to support the system. And that means you got to have real food. So I want to go into some of the herbs that help to resonate this thing to help build up. There's some foods, you know, but again, we got to look at the certain types of foods, y'all. You know, make sure these foods, we try to say, make sure they're not conventional foods. We want to go more organics. Got it? We want to do the organics that you can, because there are sprays, chlorpyrifos, glyphosates, things like the atrazines, you know, all of these different things that are going on. You got to watch what they're spraying. So I'm going to give you a list of things that help to resonate. And then guess what, Bill? Go sit out in the sun. Go sit out.
Look out. I got no problem with it. Bring it on.
All right. How about apricots? Apricots.
Hey, I love apricots, Dr. Paul.
Absolutely. Apricots are good. And of course, apricots, they actually deal with the seeds, which actually some people are taking the apricot seeds, breaking it down and then juicing it, put that in there, helps as an antioxidant. Actually, it's an excellent antioxidant for building the immune system. Of course, we say, you've always heard, apple a day helps keep the doctor away. That's right. So apples, all different variations of the apples, but we say no conventional or organics if you can. And what does the term organic mean? Yes, going back to, you know, number nine.
Yes.
Peaches.
All right.
Peaches. I know this is the time when a lot of peaches are out of season right now, but you know, that's grows closer to the equator. That's why nothing like a Georgia peach. How about that?
Hey, Dr. Paul, I'm a Georgia peach. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hey, listen, Dr. Paul, I got a question for you. I saw some fruit the other day with a number 3 on it. What's the difference there? What is that?
Right. Starting the first digit we're talking about is the 3. Conventional starts with a 3 or 4. 4-digit number. 3's a 4. We call it the creation number. It tells you how it was created. Yes, it means something with the product lookup code, PLU. It's a system that you can go right online and punch in product lookup code. And that basically just means that they give it a number and it tells you where it was actually produced and if it was modified or anything like that. So it's a product lookup code. 3s and 4s tend to fall under conventional. So that's why we say, you know, if you can do better, start with the 9 in the front. So for example, if you had like a banana, which was the 4011. That's the 4. You would want the 9 in front of that. So that would be
okay. All right.
Got it?
All right.
So same thing with the 3s. Anything, I think you can get something like broccoli, start with 3s, things like that. You would get the 9 in front of that. Got it? The 9. Okay, always the 9. There are other variations. There's 6, 7s, and 8s. We tend to know that they fall on the line of what's called GEs, genetically engineered. They're doing different things with that. We don't try to get into that, nor do we recognize that, because when you get into genetic modifications of foods, ultimately it's going to do the same thing to you. So it changes the dynamics. We're trying not to get into that. We're trying to get it as, you can't get no easier than taking an organic seed, putting it in organic soil, giving it real water, and then sunlight, and you get an organic crop. You can't go no better than that. So those are the things that we want to do first. So mangoes. You like mangoes?
I love mangoes.
Mangoes, papayas. I'm gonna give one that a lot of folks don't know about, but what stimulates the pineal gland also is this thing called star fruit.
Okay, talk to me now.
Remember, when we talk about the melanin production, I skipped a step. And that step is that, you have in the brain this thing called the grand triangle. And that's the pineal gland. If you took a pyramid and you took the pineal gland at the top, that's the one that gives the marching orders. Pineal fires off. And then next thing you know, you have the pituitary and the hypothalamus. So what happens is that grand triangle, those that we're in naturopathy knows that it definitely balances your autonomic system, the endocrine system. These are things that balance the hormones and rhythm of the body, the circadian rhythms of the body. And when that's out of balance, that throws everything out of balance. So that means sleep patterns, nutritional deficiencies, things like rhythm issues, autonomic issues. Autonomic situations are at a very high right now. Autonomic systems deal with things that you don't have to think about doing. Like when you go to sleep, Bill, you don't have to think about breathing. You automatically breathe, right?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. Yes.
When you eat food, you don't have to think about digestion. You automatically digest food.
It just happens.
So that's part of your autonomic system.
Okay.
Digestion, you got it, all those things that you don't have to think about. But guess what? If you don't have the proper amount of nutrients, you get disruption in not having enough sun, messes up that cycle. Next thing you know, you got people that say, I can't sleep at night. I have problems getting sleep. A sidebar with that, a lot of times a lot of people don't have the ability for getting sleep, has every reason because they can't get into that deep REM sleep. You know what REM sleep is?
About to ask you. Talk to me.
That's random eye movement. Random eye movement. You ever see anybody, there's their eyes, like if you ever see them sleep and their eyes moving, and you can see somebody, you got a loved one, if you got a loved one, and you ever watch them sleep and their eyes just be moving back and forth, they losing their mind, they crazy? Wake up, you scared me. No, it's just a level of REM sleep is when you get into that deep sleep. Because the body's repairing itself, it puts you in like a little temporary paralysis. That's what it is. That's when people say, man, I felt like I couldn't move last night, because you were probably coming out of a deep sleep. You were coming out real slow, and you were still in that deep REM. And eventually you can move again. They said, man, I had this thing where I couldn't move. I was like I was frozen. That's because your body was deep repairing. And it needs you to deep repair if you get into that deep sleep. But here's the problem, Bill. A lot of people can't get into that deep REM sleep. They don't take the time to actually, because of distractions, broken circadian rhythm, getting up in the middle of the night because you're going to the bathroom 3 and 4 times. So you never get a chance to get into that deep REM sleep. So you never get to do the real deep repairs that you need.
Now I got one for you. Got a question for you. So that should take us to people who sleep with their TVs on in their bedrooms. That light from that TV will prevent you from really getting into that whole cycle. Wouldn't you say so?
Yes, absolutely. And you can also go. There's a lot of steps you can go with that one. You can unpack that whole discussion going into again, radiation, Wi-Fi, all the different things. It's a lot of different directions you can go with that. We call that radiation exposure, addiction to radiation. You know how you go into somebody's room and then, the TV will be blasting, they knocked out sleep. As soon as you turn the TV off, they wake up. Hey, I was watching that. No, you weren't.
I got done said, been done 1,000 times.
So that means that they're literally addicted to radiation.
Wow, I'm hooked.
How about that? But listen, Bill, Big B, we got to take a quick break. Mike's giving me the sign. Listen, family, if you're listening, this is the Dr. Paul and Bill 1L Morgan on the Green Hour. We got to take a quick break. 96.1 FM, 900 AM, WURD. We'll be right back.
Monday through Thursday, keep it locked to WURD Radio. At 6 a.m., start your day with the Power Hour, hosted by Bishop Dwayne Royster and Reverend Mark Kelly Tyler. At 7, it's Wake Up with WURD with Solomon Jones. At 10 a.m., it's Reality Check with Charles Ellison. Then at 1 p.m., it's The Source, hosted by Andrea Lawful Sanders on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and the Black Women's Leadership Council on Wednesdays. At 4 p.m., it's Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro. Then at 7, it's Save Space with Sincerely Sarita. At 9 p.m., round up your day with Keeping It Real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Keep your dial locked to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app. Or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. WURD Radio. Independent Black Media.
Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center, 5925 North Broad Street. Open Monday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And this week, 20% off mineral-rich liquid 32-ounce. North American black seed oil, 8-ounce. North American oregano oil. Super strength, 60 capsules. And absolutely, you can get Dr. Paul's Green Drink, Colon Cleanse, and Eliminator at Pollock Herbs. 5925 North Broad Street, open Monday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pollock Herbs and Vitamin Center, 215-549-4372, 215-549-4372.
Wayne Avenue Health Food, located at 5007 Wayne Avenue, has been in business for 29 years. Wayne Avenue Health Food is a one-stop shop for all of your quality vitamins, herbs, and information with exceptional, friendly, experienced service. Wayne Avenue Health Food is open 7 days a week and delivers in the Philadelphia area and ships all over the country. For more information, call 267-338-6488.
He's back.
This is Reverend Al Sharpton.
Keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
In times like these, we have to stay connected.
At a brand new time, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. till midnight.
I'm excited that Keeping It Real returns to WURD.
Keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. till midnight. This program is pre-recorded. No phone calls, please.
Keep it locked to WURD 96.1 FM, 900 AM, WURDradio.com.
You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Black Talk Media.
And we're back. This is Dr. Paul Hopkins and Bill 1L Morgan. This is The Green Hour, and we are live here. We're doing remote, practicing social spacing, and today we're going in heavy. Bill, you there?
Yeah, right here, buddy. Yes, sir.
Okay, and hey, we're going into talking about this sunlight, y'all. I know that we know that social spacing is our issue. Yes, you got to mask it up. Yes, you have to practice social spacing. And also wash your hands, keep clean, but also here's one thing, family. You got to get some sun. I hope you might be in the sun right now, even if you got a window in your house. That's right there, and you can actually start to get a little sunlight. I want you to start to now focus on that sunlight. You know,
man.
sunlight is the pivotal part of the construction and redevelopment and building of the body. So I went into apricots. I talked about apples.
Right.
I talked about peaches. I talked about mangoes, papayas, even star fruit. But guess what? You know what? Figs and dates also, big. Figs and dates, man.
Okay. I love figs, man.
Absolutely. You got the bananas and the plantains. Those are good also. Remember also your yams and your red cherries. All this good stuff, y'all. So you got to start to do this, and actually it starts to activate those things that are developing that sort of activity that resonates to start to get that vitamin A moving, that vitamin D moving. Start to move that stuff in. It's these things that connect and actually start to activate in your liver. Now starts to create these pantothenic acids like the B5s and things like that. All that stuff starts to now create the neurotransmitters, start to balance the body out, starts to now connect all the dots. So now you're clicking on all cylinders, man. We have this perfect system created by a genius, but we're not activating it. But if we're not activating it, a lot of it has to do with the environment we're living in. So sometimes, you know, there's levels where we have to really get deep into it. So now let's talk about balancing this thing off, going directly in, get your food, family, and get some sunshine. We got Rick. We got Rick from Germany on line 1. Rick, you there?
Big Rick.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
All right, big
Good
Rick.
afternoon, Rick.
I wanted to ask your co-host, how are poor people dealing with getting quality food during this pandemic?
Well, how are poor people getting, say that again, how are they getting quality food?
How are they getting quality food?
During this pandemic.
Well, people are doing other things outside the box, Rick. You know, and a lot of it has to do with, remember, your herbs are food also. So you got to go for, you know, not only talking about the things we talk about here, staying away from the conventional, but there are also co-ops that are available in community development areas. We talk about them here on the Green Hour all the time. We also give out food. We try to make sure that we're on top of things. So we're trying to get the maximum amount of nutrients as possible. It is a fight, absolutely. But definitely that don't mean give up either. That means that you have to have the eye to know where to go after and stay on top of it. Herbs are a great resource for that. Herbs are an excellent resource. So that's what we do. That's what we do on this side. We know we in the world going backwards, but we got to keep moving forward.
That's right. And also, Rick, you know, we formed some very strategic partnerships. We've got a great guy over there called Pastor Ricky Halsey, all over there in Philly. And that's really been kicking. He's been supporting us right through this whole thing. And there are other folk, man. There's just people out there that are interested in people just living and just family coming together as one. And I think that if we kind of join our hands together, when we find things like that, or we find someone else that's a little bit better than what we're doing, hey, look, reach your hand out and say, yo, come on board. And let's come together as one family. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, that's what we got to do. And we got Mark on the line. Mark Kinsey on the line, too. Mark?
Hey, Dr. Paul, Mr. Bill, how y'all doing?
Mark, what's up, buddy?
Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, Dr. Paul, since I've been dealing with you since 7 years, I changed my whole eating habits, man. And it's only for me. And like you said, I eat fruits in the morning, and I do the rest, you know. And
that's right.
But the thing is, by me changing my whole eating, I had to eat fruits because I do a lot of weightlifting. That's a lot, and I thank God for that because I've just been like 5 years now. And by me doing so, that gives me energy. And the rest of food that I eat, the vegetables, and I may eat some organic. And I eat fish, but it got to be not organic, but help me out, Dr. Paul.
Yeah. You said wild card. You try to say wild card.
Yes.
By me doing so, my body is prospering. Only because MS, major back surgery, both of my knees replaced, the right one went bad on me, and by me eating the right food, alkaline my body, drinking the right waters, anything that pertains to get my health on point, I've been doing so.
Yes,
Me, in order for me, the way I've benefited, I looked at the Bible, and they lived to 800, 400 years young, and they used the herbs. And the herbs
sir.
we use today. They ain't had
there you go.
products back then, but me doing so, that made my body prosper. And I try to tell people, I'm on Facebook, and guess what, Dr. Paul? I will be walking soon. Believe that.
Look out, buddy.
Hey, man, you already
I know that's right.
It's everyone have seen, Mark is part of our men's group, and Mark, you have done incredible. Anyone have to see your Facebook page is going to see a walking miracle, bro. You saying start walking, you are walking, from what they told you, to sell you into it, that this is where you're going to be. You didn't go for none of it. You didn't buy it.
That's
so
right.
You actually took it, you took the bull by the horns, as they say, and you applied the principle. We say, know where you are at all times. Don't break the rules, family. That's our problem. We're breaking the rules. But also, I'm going to come to your defense that the rules are being broken outside of you and delivering it to you. You're giving you bad food. They're giving you pesticides and things. But that's what the whole purpose of the Green Hour is, to let you know what are the things that you are eating, what's good for you, what's not. Traditionally, we haven't been taught this in school. It's never been rolled out to us what's good for us. So people eat like they can't, like there is no tomorrow. They eat the bad foods, and it's causing the disruption. That's why I put out the top 10 toxic foods, so that you can identify them in your foods and to say, hey, you know what? What's interesting about this, that it goes back to spiritual laws of, if it's alive, it only can bring you life. If it's dead, there is no life in it. Stay away from dead foods, family. So, Mark, you've done it, man. I had to applaud you every time you come on with a testimony. I want to say and applaud you, my brother, publicly amongst everyone. All right? So keep up the good work, all right?
I got one more thing to say, if I can.
All right.
There were three things that was hindering me that the devil stole from me. One of them was my PSA. The other one was my MS. And the one is walking. Walking is done. Crawl, walk, and run. I'm done with that. Okay? My shoulder. They said I had to get the shoulder replacement. I'm using herbs that Dr. Paul prescribed me. I can use my shoulder and still lift my weight. Okay? And that's in a working process. And the third one is my MS, and I'm going to deal with that with Dr. Paul. And I know I will be healed once I do the process.
All right, brother. He sounds good today, don't he, Bill?
Yes, he does, buddy. I'm telling you.
He sounds strong today, boy. All right. We'll talk soon, man. And we'll see how things go on, all right? Hey, man, thank you for calling through, all right?
Always. Yes, sir.
All right, B. All right, let me go back to this, B. Remember, I talked about the Grand Triangle.
Exactly.
Don't mess up the Grand Triangle. Support the Grand Triangle. I don't want to get so deep and sophisticated into the intricacies of, how this happens. Because, all you have to do is just stay guided to the strict dietary laws of saying, hey, if it's alive, then it's going to bring life. That's it.
That's right.
That's all you got to do. Get your natural things like open air, sunshine. These are the things that keep the body in rhythm. So sometimes you're going to have to go out to the backyard. You got some space out in the backyard, get out to that sun.
I know that's right.
You only have a light in your window. Get into that sunlight. Let it hit you in the forehead. Sun gazing does amazing things to regenerate the body. So I was at yams and red cherries. Do you know red cherries are good for inflammation? So a lot of people take a lot of what's called tart cherry juice for things like inflammation, arthritis, things like that. Also, blue grapes with seeds.
Say that again.
Blue grapes with seeds.
Blue grapes?
Grapes.
Oh, grapes. What? Okay, blue grapes.
Here's the challenge. Find some grapes with seeds. You know, that's the essence of all of the energy is the seed. The seed is the essence. The flesh is the byproduct of the seed.
But
so
Dr. Paul, they beating us up, man, with all this stuff that's got no seeds in it, man. Help us out. Help a brother out.
Seedless food has no food.
It's killing
not
us.
seedless, it's soulless. It's soulless. All right. I'm going to go into the different things. Blueberries, excellent. But we got to talk about blueberries a little bit because they are spraying a lot of blueberries. It's pre-spraying that's going on with that thing called the what they call the chlorpyrifos and the glyphosates and stuff that are on there that sometimes cause some people to have what's called phantom pains. And those phantom pains we talked about a couple of weeks ago, you know, and that means you might pick something up and, my arm, my wrist, that's pain shooting down my leg. What's going on? Something like that. So that could be called phantom pains. Sometimes you got to watch with the sprays. Remember, clean them off will be baking soda and also non-aluminum. Okay, non-aluminum baking soda does clean that off. Okay, all right. These are all the things that are stimulating the pineal gland. Collard greens. Collard greens. You know why? Collard greens are excellent, high hydrogen, man. A lot of energy in collard greens. That's why we love collard greens, because collard greens have that ability to give you that energy. It's an energy food, okay? Dandelion greens. Excellent.
Dandelion
greens.
You mean the stuff in my yard?
Well, yes, but these are different dandelion greens. These are different dandelion, and then there's dandelion greens also.
Okay, help them out. Help me out.
You have, like, the dandelion, I say, is one of the miracles. You will see a dandelion growing out of concrete in the ghetto. How about that?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yes,
That's
sir.
not supposed to happen. But you'll see that dandelion rolling right up in the concrete in your back driveway somewhere.
Wow.
And you
Great
say,
strength.
how is that possible?
Yes.
That should not be possible, because that shows you the energy that the dandelion has.
Wow. Wow.
Deal directly with the liver production. Liver production, that's what resonates and starts to get that vitamin D thing going on. Got it? That's why when we start to say the vitamin A's, when you have vitamin A or something like beta carotene, okay, the liver has to work to flip that beta carotene to vitamin A. You got to strengthen your liver. So that's why we say the food usually comes from things like the greens, the dandelion greens, things like that.
Wow.
Olives, fresh olives, fresh olives, fresh olives, olives. You like olives, Bill?
Yes, I do.
I
Yes,
love
do.
olives, man.
Yes,
you
I
know,
do.
it's an adult taste. You know, you have to have a taste for olives. And I remember I had an aunt that, you know, I used to hate olives. I said, ew, that's nasty, because I didn't. She said, you're not mature enough. And as I got older, I started liking olives. I says, wow, that's amazing. All right, last
question,
few.
one quick question. What's the difference between the green olives and the black olives? Is there a difference?
Absolutely. I'm going to answer that question, but before we do that, we got to take a break. Mike's giving me a sign. This is the Green Hour with Dr. Ball and one Bill L. Morgan, and we'll be right back. WURD 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be right back.
Listen to Laborers Live.
We created the weekend. We created the 40-hour work week. We just want enough to feed our family, be able to send our children to college, and let our next generation do better than we did.
To people that might have forgot how important unionism is in a country like the United States. People now infringing on our 8-hour workday, trying to work people more than 8 hours without overtime, trying to work people without benefits. In the long run, everybody's getting a fat paycheck except the worker. So this is really a wake-up call for America.
The struggle is continuous. Tune in to Laborers Live every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Sponsored by LESIT, the Laborers Employers Cooperation Education Trust of the Laborers District Council of Philadelphia and vicinity.
Local 332, Sam Staten Jr. Business Manager. Local 57, Esteban Vera Business Manager. Local 135, Dan Woodall Jr. Business Manager. Local 413, James Harper Jr. Business Manager. The Laborers District Council, Ryan Boyer Business Manager, and Tony Staten, Executive Director of LESIT.
Just one more step. You got it.
You're doing great. This is the sound of a nationally ranked top rehabilitation hospital, home to the largest collection of robotics in the United States, where we continually exceed patient expectations. Because no injury is too severe or too minor for our care.
There you go.
This is the sound of success. Moss Rehab. Challenge accepted.
You're listening to The Green Hour, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Black Talk Media.
And we're back. This is Dr. Ball and Bill 1L Morgan, and this is The Green Hour. I'm glad everyone's chiming in today. You know, we're talking about the sun. Get some sun, Bill.
Get some sun. Yes, sir, buddy.
The great activator. The great activator in a pandemic.
Wow.
You know, is to deal with some sun. You got to get some sun. We got to activate that pineal gland, family. Get that resonance going. That's what's going to help you fight off all of this stuff. You know, when they're telling you, you know, you've been tested positive. What do you do? You go home, you know, and they're not giving you any instructions. But we on this side, we say, hey, you got to feed the body. The body corrects itself 11 times faster than you get sick.
Right.
So the 11 times faster has everything to do with you eating the right foods, getting the right foods, making sure that you are getting enough rest. Get into that REM sleep. We talk about getting that REM sleep. You can be eating all the good stuff, Bill, but as soon as you don't get that sleep, man, you got to sit down. Turn that TV off.
I know that's right. Send it away. Send it away.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, now, you... between, I think that you said the difference between black olives versus
green olives. That's right.
Right. Both of them have high polyphenols, which is the antioxidant properties. You know, the dark ones tend to, we say, they're telling us that they don't have a difference between the nutritional value, but definitely there's a little higher antioxidant effect with the dark ones because that's more energy, definitely. But it also contributed to where they come from. So that talks about, again, sun, where you are, on what part of the world you are on has a lot to do with that. So that means if you're noticing that they're coming from different parts of the world, you'll notice that there's different colors, different colors. That's all we call doctrine of signatures. You remember?
Yes.
The doctrine of signatures based on AKA God's signature. It's like you put the stamp on anything. The darker it is, the more nutrition or antioxidant property it tends to have.
Okay.
All right. So I was down the list, Bill. Where was I? I was at dandelion.
Dandelion greens. That was your last one. Yes.
I did the olives. Olives.
Right.
Strawberries.
Okay.
Strawberries. But again, here we are, family. We still have to talk about toxicity in foods. Whenever you see a study, and the study is saying, these may or may happen in this, and they give you a pro and con for foods, and they say, well, this may cause this, it may cause that. It has to address level of toxicity for the body. The same way you may see this thing called eating for your blood type. You've heard that, right?
Yes, I've heard that.
A lot of people come and say, well, Doc, what about the eating for blood type? What does that mean? Well, that is good. And yes, there was a time when that was very beneficial for your blood type, but you cannot address that without properly addressing the GMO factor, genetic modification that's happening with it, and also the genetic modification of what they're spraying on it and what was used in the study. Because most studies are not done with organic foods. They're not taking in consideration. They're usually using conventional type food processes. So that's why it's skewed, definitely. When they don't address it, you can't take it as a gospel. Got it? All right. We got lemons. And limes. Lemons and limes. Yes. Did you know that lemons and limes activate that alkalinity, man? Goes directly towards a healthy liver. Do you know what the key to this whole thing is, Bill, that helps to get the body back in? Is that synthesizer, melanin. But guess what? That liver is activating. That's what's good.
That's the key, right?
That liver does so many things.
Right.
Because the liver starts to generate the energy. That's your nuclear reactor, your power source. When you tend to clean the liver, you clean the blood. Gets all faculties in motion. You got it? So you got to start to clean that liver. And I'm trying to break it down real simple without getting scientific, because we don't want no more scientific overload right now. We just want to be as simple as possible, follow some dietary laws out for certain things of toxicity, and keep it moving. You got it? Keep it moving. Get your water, family. At the same time, you got to get your water. And so the last one I'm going to add on this food chart, which is, this is food that helps to stimulate high-level melanin immune system builders. And the last one would be turnips. Turnips, all right. Turnips. Yep, turnips. Stuff that grows deep in the earth, man. Turnips.
Yes,
turnips
real deep.
So definitely, man, we got to keep that, all food. So did we go over all of them? I think we went over all of them.
Yes, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, and then now I want to add some herbs. Here are some herbs, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul, family. And remember, this is herbs that help to resonate the melanin production in the body. One is called saw palmetto. Saw, S-A-W, palmetto. P-A-L-M as in Mary, E-T-T-O. And remember, saw palmetto is excellent for resonating and getting the system moving. High in zinc too, has good zinc in there. So that's good for men's prostate issues. But also remember, zinc is one of those building blocks and one of those protection things that are good for the coronavirus. That's one of our protections for the coronavirus. We try to say the average person with our coronavirus intake daily amounts usually tend to be between 50 and 70 I think it's micrograms that, milligrams that you're getting. They did a study and showed that those who took at least 50 milligrams a week tend to
15 milligrams a week.
That one, no, I'm just saying in general. This study
in general,
how powerful this is. If you just take it daily, 150 milligram a day, that helps you with balancing out issues with viruses, because it actually takes the pressure out of the ability for the virus to reload. So it's cellular health. So that would be something that the zinc high in saw palmetto. Another one would be called black cohosh. Black cohosh. And that's black, first word, cohosh spelled C-O-H-O-S-H. Got it?
Black cohosh, we got it.
These are herbs that are in combination used to balance out, we call pineal nutrition. That's what we put it under, pineal nutrition. So what's that doing? That's actually balancing out that grand triangle, Bill.
Yes.
Yes. And here's one of my favorites. And I put this one in the category with a lot of the digestive things like my colon cleanse. It's called lobelia. Lobelia? L-O-B as in boy, E-L-I-A. Lobelia. It also is not only it resonates and helps to stimulate the pineal gland and open up the pineal gland and balance out, that triangle, but also it resonates and gives your rhythm back, rhythm.
Right.
So it deals with circadian rhythm. That's why when we start to get those who are addicted to things like smoking, or any addiction issues, that's why lobelia is used for like smokers. It's like we call it the smokers, the smoker's herb.
Right.
So it helps pull the desire for you to have nicotine. But guess what? We can't replace that ritual and ceremony. That's when you say it's 10 o'clock to go have a cigarette, Bill. I'll be right back. Can't replace that. Can't replace that. Got it?
Yes,
so
yes.
Its old name was called Indian tobacco. That's what it used to be called. It's called Indian tobacco. Yep. All right. Now, here I'm going to get into the heavy hitters now. Here's the heavy hitters.
Talk to me.
These are the heavy hitters. Eyebright. Eyebright. Doesn't that sound like something?
Sure does.
Like they knew something, B. They knew something. They knew something about that. They said that eyebright got its name from what? That light of the body, which is what? The pineal gland. Some call it the third eye. Some call it the kundalini, and some call it the endocrine systems, resonator, all of those things. So that's what gives the marching orders. So it's eyebright, brings the brightness to the body. There's a scripture that says, if that eye goes dark, then the whole body goes dark. Remember that scripture?
You know what?
Bill?
I got a question for you about that eyebright, Dr. Paul. I know someone asked me about, there's some folk who are having like issues with their eyes. What do they call it? The clouding of the eyes.
Cataracts.
Exactly, cataracts. Now, if someone has cataracts, can they use eyebright instead of going in to have their eyes, done whatever they do to clear the eyes out?
It's a help, and that's why that's one of that's one of the eyebright is one of the ones that the ingredients that's in the Dr. Christopher's eyebright formula. Now it's used for that, but it also resonates the eye to actually deal with other things that help to resonate to correct that endocrine system. Starts to get the toxins out of the eye. Starts to correct the contrast of the eye.
Okay, great. Okay.
Things like that. So it has a lot to do with that. Next one would be burdock root, one of my favorites.
I got you.
Burdock root goes deep, man. Burdock root is a deep herb, man. Did you know burdock root is a deep herb, man? I mean, I was just looking up something on burdock. Did they call that nature's blood purifier? That is, it's burdock root because it grows everywhere. If you go out, those that live in Philadelphia, we go out to Fairmount Park. It's burdock root everywhere, man. It's burdock root everywhere. Yeah. That's why we go out and we do our nature's walk. We do our nature's walk, man. We find all this stuff out there. Brother Elmagon takes us out, and he shows us all that stuff. But that's my list right there. I got two more. Actually, one more. Alfalfa. Alfalfa is the last one. Alfalfa. And Big Mike is giving me the four fingers right now that I got 4 minutes to close out. Yes, he is. He is telling me I got 4 minutes left. Time seems to fly. Hey, family, I wanted you to listen to this one. I had to go back to this one because you got to start getting sunshine. Yes. That's the one thing that's missing, and you have to kind of repeat this. We're in the blackout zone. The blackout zone is between end of October to about the end of April of the next year. That means you have more darkness in this time than any time, and that's when we see more deaths, more suicides, more bad businesses, more sickness and chronic diseases are diagnosed. This is when people have depression and anxiety. It's not you, family. It's where in the time you're living in. You're in the northern hemisphere. You're homesick. You got to live closer to the equator is where all the heat and all the energy is. Don't understand that. Get your sun. Vitamin D does resonate. We're looking at about 10,000 IUs of vitamin D, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. It's food for the soul. All right? 10,000 IUs a day in the wintertime. All right? Hey, we got to close out, Bill. I'm already running out of time. If you want to call me, this is Dr. Paul. And you can call me at 1-877-377-2854. That's 1-877-377-2854. Or you can call me directly, 215-779-7355. Or you can get me right on my website, www.drpaulherbs.com. We're still doing the special for the RM3A. Get your discount. You get a 10% discount if you call and say, give me the works. I need the works, only for the works. that you will get both the urinalysis and the RM3A. And it can show that RM3A shows that endocrine system.
There you go.
All right, so family, I want to say to our producers, thank you to our producers, Michael Ledbetter, Laura Lomax, our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, and the entire Lomax family. Thank you so much for allowing us this platform. And Big B, thank you, man. I appreciate
buddy.
you.
Always.
Mike Moore. We didn't hear Mike today. He's probably on the other side making stuff work. But Mike is behind the scenes making it all happen. Also, last thing, remember, we're doing Wednesdays with the family tree. It's out of sight. We had over 100 folks last Wednesday.
Sure did. Yes.
Subscribe to the website. I'll send you an invitation. All right, family, be encouraged. And remember, if you're breathing,
you got a shot. God bless everybody.
God bless.